The war is over. It's finally is it finally over, right?
That's what I was going to ask.
It's been a long road, but the saviors are, well, I'm not going to say the saviors are done, but Negan's reign is done, at least for right now.
I'm not even sure of that.
We can only hope. I'm Justin. He's Matt.
Hello.
And he's JP.
I sure am.
And we are the Podcasting Dead. If you didn't get it by the name, we obviously podcast about The Walking Dead.
Everybody's beards are looking immaculate today.
Thank you. I didn't even get a chance to groom mine this morning because I woke up so late, but I appreciate it.
I didn't have any running water. So.
I got a beard brush. It really works wonders. Yeah,
oh, nice. Like ox hair.
It's very coarse. That much I can tell.
I've got one. It's just the only thing I don't like. I use it every day, but the only thing I don't like is sometimes it'll catch like in your skin and it's really rough. But it does wonders for softening up a beard.
Exfoliation. I think that's what that's called. Yeah.
I was at my nephew's birthday party, and one of my mom's friends, she's not old, but she's older, and she sat down and then just started like rubbing my beard, and I'm like,
Ugh.
I mean, a little creepy.
calm down.
Yeah,
she's a sweet, awesome lady. I'm just playing. But I was kind of like, is this what comes with having a beard now? Like, because I've never really grown it out that long.
Depending on what circles you're
with
running.
great beards.
Some people.
Comes great responsibility.
Yeah.
But so we're talking about the Season 8 finale. It's finally come and gone. A overall great episode. I definitely do have a few gripes that we're going to talk about. I'm going to be going over to the dark side with Matty D here for a little bit.
Dark side? What?
But overall, good episode. I was very happy with it. JP, did you see, we know Matt did, but did you see the big Eugene twist?
I mentioned it last podcast.
Did you? I know Matty D was a big proponent.
I wasn't here. I didn't hear what happened. What did you say last podcast?
It's just about him sabotaging the bullets.
Oh, okay.
It just shows you how little I listen when you talk.
Yeah, that's always been the case.
But no,
it's good. It feels good. It feels good to pay off. I'm glad I believed in him.
But you know what though, they did say on the I was about to say the Podcasting Dead.
What did we say?
The Talking Dead. They said now though, Eugene, this wasn't some long running like thing. Like he was doing what he does best. He was surviving and like meeting Abraham Ford, and that did help him. But I mean, like he was for a while with Negan. He was surviving. Like he didn't really, plan this the entire time. But then something changed, and maybe Rosita talking
turned
to him.
his
but
heart. Yeah.
He did. He did. I thought they were just doing that to reassure us that now that he was fully evil. But and the main reason I thought he was going to stay evil is because they've been departing from the comics so radically here lately that I was like, maybe they're going to switch it up and Eugene's going to be a bad guy and he'll never bump up against Rosita. But
yeah, I think when Rosita was like, look, you're the one who got the saviors out of the sanctuary, when they had them under siege and all that. And so everyone who's died since then is on your hands, pal.
And I think it really got to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was great. I feel bad. My girlfriend's mom's power went out. So basically when they had him surrounded, Negan's got the gun to Father Gabriel's head, and he's like, 3, 2, at like 2, her power goes out, right? And when it comes back, Rick is fighting Negan, and she calls her like, what the hell just happened?
I think Father Gabriel just transformed into Rick, and now he's fighting.
I love it took me back to season 4, with the governor, because you kind of had that like 1, 2, 3 punch, like you had, when the gun misfired and cut his hand open, you had Dwight slammed into him, and then I think Eugene kind of struggled, and then finally Rick comes and fights him. It was pretty cool.
Yeah, I really thought Gabriel was going to eat it.
I did too.
Episode. I did not see him making it out, but he made it out.
I feel like you could make so many memes on that scene where he opens the door and jumps out of the vehicle, because just the way it's just so nonchalantly after talking to Negan, he just opens the door and just falls out. But yeah, I thought a lot of people were going to die. Yet again, another, which I guess I'm okay. I kind of wish DARYL would have died, but more on that later. But I definitely thought we were going to lose some main cast here, or at least 1 or 2. I thought Carol was going to die for sure. I thought that was going to be the driving force behind Morgan.
Morgan's dead
departing.
on the inside. So
Again. But yeah, good episode though. So let's see. Starting at the beginning, I thought it was funny when Eugene gives Negan the gun to shoot the Rick stuffed shirt. It just says Rick.
He played it just right, didn't he?
Yeah. Gave him the gun with the good bullets. And I'm trying to think, man. I mean, it's a lot going on. I really don't want to skip straight to the end, but that's where my mind keeps going. I want to start at the beginning and work through, but my mind keeps jumping to the end. It was pretty slick when he slit his throat with a piece of glass.
And that happened in the comics, right? Or
he did slit his throat, yeah. I think he used a knife in the comics.
Sure, yeah.
But one thing they left out that I was kind of shocked, I thought they were going to do this, because even though I know they were like Carl's vision of the future, we saw Rick on a cane. Mm-hmm. In the comics, spoilers for the comics, by the way, and the episode, but I don't know why you clicked on this if you didn't want spoilers for the episode. Sure. But spoilers for the comics. So in the comics, well, after Rick slits Negan's throat, Negan still like gets him on the ground and snaps his leg like it's a twig, just like in a very brutal way too. Not like twists it, like takes it and just pushes it and breaks it, and then passes out from his injuries. And that's when Rick's like, save him. Blah, 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 blah. So I was waiting the whole time for Negan to jump up and like throw Rick down while he was giving his speech and break his leg, and then just see the crowd on the hill watching Rick just kind of like, just kind of not do anything. Like, oh man, he was really going good with that.
Somebody should go help him. Anyone? I'm not going to do it.
What just happened? But you know what? I hate skipping around, but I'm just going to do it. The whole Maggie thing kind of pissed me off, man. Like
at the very end?
Because I don't get, number one, I understand that there is some need for her to want to kill Negan. That's good. That's good drama. I mean, we could have Maggie the whole next season, and that might be all she wants to do, but they're almost playing it as if Maggie's going to be the next villain. You know what I mean? It was very ominous. And then my biggest gripe with that whole scene, more than anything, well, my two gripes. Number one, why was she confiding in Jesus? Because Jesus is the one that was straight up, and maybe a commenter can enlighten me because I've only seen the episode once. Some people really dive into this thing, but Jesus spent the whole episode talking to Morgan about not killing people and forgiveness and second chances and things like that. So unless Jesus has some ulterior motive where he just doesn't want Negan in a jail cell and wants to give him a second chance, I don't know why he would be even on a conversation, because he shouldn't be down with killing Negan or Rick or Michonne.
I think he knows that if he's going to affect the kind of change he wants, he's got to stay close to Maggie.
You think that's infiltration is what that is?
Well,
he's just kind of playing a double agent?
Sort of. I mean, I don't know if I'd say double agent, but, sometimes you just got to sit there and nod, until it's time to really speak your piece.
But I don't know why she would talk to Jesus about that, because Jesus is the one that told her to not to kill those hilltop prisoners, the saviors that they had captured. I mean, she knows Jesus is all about, like, basically Morgan's old philosophy of, like, letting people live and life's precious and all of that. So why she was confiding in him, I was really confused about. Then, of course, douchebag DARYL. Can we get a meme for that? Steps out of the corner, and it's like, I hate to hate DARYL so much, but I just feel like at this point they don't even know what to do with him, because he's just like, yeah, we're gonna show them. And it's like, dude, you and Rick were just like bromancing it out like 3 episodes ago with apologies, and now it's like, yeah, let's take Rick down.
I think in Daryl's mind, he's like, we came this close to total annihilation. If I'm going to keep that from happening, I got to step away from Rick. Me and Maggie got to make some changes.
I agree, but I just if I wouldn't mind the Daryl betrayal thing so bad if we hadn't already been through the Daryl and Rick disagreeing this season. It's kind of like when they fake kill Glenn, then they real kill Glenn. It kind of took away the effectiveness of, it took away the impact for me. I mean, it sucked, but at the same time, I mean, we've already seen him die on screen, we thought. So the initial shock is gone. So kind of like we've seen Daryl go off and fight Rick. And so, I mean, for me, I'm just kind of like, oh, Daryl's in a mood again.
I think, the damage is done,
I think that's my biggest gripe. Other than that, I love the episode. Still very happy with the back half of this season. Thought it was a fantastic second half of this season. Best Walking Dead I think we've seen in a while. However, that's my biggest gripe.
Daryl's still got a big heart for Rick, but he just knows, practicality as a pragmatist, he's got to step away leadership-wise.
Yeah. I feel like with that scene, they just were trying, because I'm sure Maggie's not going to try to kill Rick, but it almost made it feel like that's what they were going for. And that was my biggest thing, like, I don't know. That was probably my least favorite part. Other than that, I really enjoyed it. I mean, but it's good drama. I wouldn't mind if she was just more out with it, like, we're going to buy some time when we get the chance. We're going to kill that son of a bitch. And talking about Negan, but I mean, they almost made it seem like she wanted to take out Rick and Michonne, too.
I think she wants Rick to be more like a King of England type figure, like he's there just for the symbolism, like to inspire people. Yeah, but at the end of the day, Maggie and her cronies, that's who's going to be calling the shots.
Which, by the way, I totally agree with killing Negan. I mean, not from a fan standpoint, but like if I were in the show, I would definitely agree with Maggie. No, Negan needs to die. I mean, you kill all these saviors who we find a lot of them were just following him to survive. But then you have the chance to take out the guy that was responsible for all of this.
But do you think that would turn him into a martyr and just, kind of reinvigorate their cause?
That's true.
I kind of like the whole, this is a symbol of we're going to have a society with law and order.
Right.
Ching, ching.
Unless you follow him, then we're going to kill you. But if you're the big leader, we're going to keep you alive and make an example out of you.
Should work, no problem. Absolutely.
If I were Negan, I'd be like, dude, just kill me. I don't want to spend the rest of my life in a jail cell.
What season do you think Maggie's going to have her baby?
If she's even in, I don't think as of late, I don't think she's re-signed for season 9 yet.
Oh, really?
I think
there's
so.
something. Maybe they'll write this into it, but maybe in retrospect, because maybe they forgot. Maybe somebody was like, "Guys, didn't we make Maggie pregnant a while back?" Like that one writer, and everyone's, "Oh crap!"
Right?
Oh no. Okay, yeah, we got to.
She has to have this baby.
So maybe she had a miscarriage or something. But it's not. That's not something that you would go around telling everyone.
Right.
So from the viewer standpoint, even from the character standpoint, not many people would know about it, and that can also mess with your hormones, mess with mental things, maybe, and also maybe that's the fact she lost Glenn. Now she lost the only remaining piece that she had left of Glenn. So now it's just
dark road.
Let's kill him.
That's
let's
great.
Kill everyone.
I think the main thing with Maggie is I think they said the entire storyline from Negan killing Abraham and Glenn, which is basically right when she got pregnant. It's only been about 2 months. Has been the time frame. It feels much longer for us because we've been watching it drag out for a year or two. But
it feels like a honeymoon eternity.
But it's only been in their time like a month or two, maybe. So she isn't quite. And my sister's kind of like Maggie, like a real slender, like slim figure. And she just had her. You wouldn't even look at her and be able to tell she's had babies. But she didn't even look like she was pregnant until like the last 2-3 months. So it's more the time frame. But that would be great, storytelling. I mean, great drama because that's not really something we've had to see them deal with.
That's right. She's got that show with that guy.
Yeah, she does. That show with that guy.
With that guy.
That guy.
The guy who was in that thing with that other guy.
Yeah, not this guy.
No, screw that guy. This guy is guy is great.
Not this guy.
Yeah, no.
That guy. Oh yeah. Yeah, that guy is great.
Yeah.
This guy sucks.
Sometimes I can't tell the difference between that guy and that other guy, but this guy, get out of here.
Oh man, they kept that going for a while. I enjoyed
JP
that.
just looking at us like a tennis match.
Yeah, all I could do was spectate.
But so JP, so we're doing it. We're probably going to do. They keep saying, and I'm interested to see where they're going with this. They keep saying that next season is going to be like a whole new show. What do you think they're going to change up? That's going to make this
going to be a sitcom, 30-minute multi-camera sitcom.
It'll have like a
so
snazzy like intro.
That's so funny.
Like where Rick does, like when they look at the camera to give their credit, they like do a silly face, like in the '90s. Like it shows Rick kill somebody. He looks up and he's like.
It's going to start off like
Andrew Lincoln.
Like Seinfeld with Rick in front of a bunch of people on stage. You know what's crazy about zombies?
Yeah, I'd love it. Like filmed in front of a live studio audience. That'd be great.
Ooh. You just hear the oohs and the ahs and the laughs.
Oh, yeah. When Rick and Michonne kissed. Oh.
So let me ask you something.
Daryl's like, I love you. I hate you. Oh.
That should be, as you said before we started the podcast, that should be Rick and Daryl's new song, especially after this season.
Who sings that song? I love you. I hate you.
Saliva.
Saliva. Man, the 90s were a great time.
Yeah, fun time.
Saliva.
But so let's put ourselves in the show for a second.
Ooh.
Yeah. Would you accept Eugene back after doing what he did?
100%. Throwing up on Rosita or just everything?
I love that she punched him. She's like, that's for throwing up on
punch.
me. Yeah, absolutely. And he's like, fair point. Mm-hmm. But so would you accept Eugene back? Because the thing is now you see Daryl still doesn't accept Dwight, drives him off. Basically tells him, if I see you again, I'll kill you. Now go find, telling him basically go find Sherry because Daryl's just always brooding. So, but, and I mean, don't get me wrong, Eugene definitely helped swing the tide of the war with that move. But I mean, Dwight was also trying his damnedest to help them too, and he's not accepted. But JP, would you accept Eugene back into your circle?
Yeah, like me personally, I probably wouldn't, but I think it's a smart move.
Just because he's so smart?
Yeah, and I mean, what do you expect from Eugene? He's not a hero. He's not that brave. So, I mean, he's just doing what he's got to do. Not to mention, he never would have got swiped by Negan in the first place if Rosita hadn't have got all crazy and took that shot at him with the homemade bullet.
Point.
So, Rosita, at the end of the day, is the reason that the Eugene got nabbed in the first place.
That is very, very true.
Flying off the rails like she do.
I feel like Dwight gets a free pass just because he shot Tara.
Right.
It's like, I know you did all these bad things, but guys, he shot Tara.
I really thought she was going to die, too. I was wrong on my Eugene prediction. I thought they were going to switch it, and that's what I get for trying to think outside of the box. Mm-hmm. But I was kind of sort of right, and it wasn't as intense as I thought it was going to be. But with the Oceanside running in kind of last minute, like the Knights of the Vale. Mm-hmm.
I would love to have seen Aaron with a wig and like a house coat or maybe like an apron or something.
Yeah,
I don't know why.
I've been hanging out with Oceanside guys. They've got a great selection of clothes. Yeah. Hopefully he was able to stand up a little bit better for this battle.
Moo-moo?
Or like a coconut bikini, like with the coconut shells over his nip.
But where are you implying that coconuts are migratory?
Huh?
Because where would you get coconuts in Georgia?
What?
Oh, no, they're in Alexandria. Even Virginia. Where would you get coconuts?
But it's Seascape. I'm sure there's some coconuts laying around, or Seaside, or whatever.
Seascape. Oh, my God.
Oceanside, right. It's
Seascape.
Seascape is the area in Disney World that they make based on Oceanside.
Seascape sounds like a scandal.
Oceanside. Come visit Seascape.
Seascape sounds like a scandal in like the 80s with like the Reagan administration. Dude, I remember the days of Seascape.
Do you remember Seascape?
Where were you?
So crazy.
Where were you when Seascape was uncovered?
I wasn't even born when Seascape happened.
But
There's kids nowadays that have never even heard of Seascape, and it drives me nuts.
See what you've done, JP.
Sorry, I'm good.
But yeah, I enjoyed. How did you think the battle was going to be a little more intense than it was?
I mean, they've had so much this season. I figured it'd be pretty, wham bam, thank you, man.
Yeah,
right. I was hoping it would be intense, but I knew it wasn't going.
I was thinking it'd be a little more battling, and I'm not saying that I had a problem with it, but I thought there was going to be a little more battling than there was. But at least we did get to see Michonne slice through someone with her sword. That was pretty sweet. They come in with some kind of machete, and she won't having it.
They have like there's some toy company that does a lot of Walking Dead stuff, and they have Michonne's sword. But all these, because I saw the toys.
I bet it ain't even real metal.
It's not. It's like this soft plastic.
If I couldn't decapitate a walker with it, what's the point?
Yeah.
No, it would look cool hanging up in the man cave.
Right.
Is that real? No.
See, but I feel they probably like the Negan one that you could get the replica.
Right.
That, like if they had a Michonne replica like that, totally hang it up on your wall.
Oh yeah.
But this one right here, this is something you give like your 10-year-old who, for some reason, you let them watch Walking Dead.
Yeah,
Michonne's my favorite character.
I love it when she cuts heads off.
I mean, I'm really glad that he has a strong woman as his role model, but at the same time,
like maybe wait till he's like 15, 14. Let him get a little bit older to understand that that's but whatever. Yeah, I really would. It's probably best that it is fake because we do a lot of. I have a bar in my man cave and we do a lot of drinking down there. Mm-hmm. And probably the last thing you want when you're drinking is somebody swinging around a sharp sword hanging on the wall for someone to grab.
Great. Get the real one, but then when you have people over to drink, replace it with the foam one. That's perfect.
I'm gonna cut you, Daryl. Somebody goes and grabs it, and it's like, what the hell? I bamboozled you. So I was pretty satisfied with this finale, though. I mean, I really enjoyed it. I definitely felt like cheering a couple of times. I mean, it was really good. Like I said, my main gripe, again, going back, because I know some people are not going to like that. My main gripe is not Maggie having a problem with Rick and Michonne per se. I just have. Number one, I don't care if Daryl's mad at Rick. I really don't. Like at this point, I'm just with Daryl. But that's me. That's some people out there still absolutely love the character, and that's good for you. I just have gotten tired of him. But my main thing is why was Jesus there? That's the one thing. Unless, like you said, JP said, he's just kind of nodding his head. Like, I mean, there's no point in fighting this. I mean, look at Maggie. She's furious right now. I'm not going to get through to her.
At the end of the day, I think Maggie respects Jesus because she knows that he may disagree, but at the end of the day, he's going to follow her orders. He's a good soldier.
Right.
So he'll counsel her. He might disagree, but at the end of the day, he'll do what she says.
I really thought we actually finally saw him. We've only glimpsed him a time or two this part of the season. I was hoping in this. That's probably one of my other letdowns. I really was hoping we get to see badass Jesus on the battlefield, and we didn't. We just saw him giving Morgan moral direction and
give him the old what for.
Yeah, just tell him. But I really do like Jesus. I hope next season in the comics after the whole, which he has a bigger part during All Out War, but he definitely has a much bigger part when they go to the time jump. I mean, he's become.
Do you think that's
kind of
what
like
they'll
the
do
guy? I'm hoping
with this. What do you think is in store for Jadis/Ann?
That's a good question because I have no. I mean, she's right now, as far as we know, she's going to, I assume, Alexandria because Rick. Told Morgan to tell her she could. What if they didn't like Morgan? That's like Morgan's last kill. Rick tells him in confidence, "Yeah, I'm all for peace, but I tell you what, if I see that Jadis chick, I'm gonna kill her." And then Morgan's like, "All right, I got to get one last person killed." And he's like, "Rick's waiting for you. He's all excited to see you. Thank you for the new home." But no, as far as I know, I think she's going to. I assume Alexandria, or maybe over the hilltop, and she's gonna. I don't know. Maybe I hear we're doing a time jump next season, so she could be like a big part of the group at that point. I'm so glad that we have her real name and she's using complete sentences.
Ann.
I'm Ann.
Conjunctions and pronouns are important.
I hope we see Georgie again next season. It was a very interesting character. I'd like to see them do something with her.
Hiya, Georgie.
I wanted to make, and I still might, maybe I'll put it on we've made just a few little shorts, but I thought about taking that clip of her introducing herself and it'd be like, I'm Pennywise. What's your name? And when she's like, I'm Georgie. And be like, hiya, Georgie.
Have the one of him like holding the hand, waving at her.
Yeah. Oh, man, I think that'd be great. But yeah, so I don't know. I don't know, JP, what do you think about the episode? Let's give us your rundown.
No, I liked it. It's just one of those things where, like, you know, you're getting built up and built up and built up, and like you're enjoying it so much that when the climax finally does come, it's a little less satisfying. But you still got what you wanted in the end. But
were you at all trying to make that sexual, or did it just happen?
that whole sentence was amazing.
Like, I'm so glad someone didn't walk in right as you started and we're like, but I get what you're saying, though. I mean,
there was just so much, the last few episodes that by the time you get, you finally...
You're fizzled out. It feels like you're fizzling out.
Yeah.
Maybe. Is that what you're getting at?
Maybe a little bit.
What are you getting at? It feels like they raise the stakes so much during the season that when they finish it out, it doesn't feel... It feels lackluster.
Did you feel underwhelmed?
I had a pretty...
There we go. Underwhelmed. Did you not feel efficiently whelmed?
I sort of had a good feeling of where it was going, It's so much...
Okay, so you feel like it's more predictable? It's getting predictable?
It wasn't from the get-go, but by the time we were almost there,
And don't get me wrong, when I say that I would have killed Negan, I see the point of keeping him alive and making him an example and blah, 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 blah. But just someone like Negan is just so good at brainwashing people. Like, my thought is just that as long as he's alive, there's always the risk that something's going to happen. You know what I mean? Not unless you, like, locked him up and just were like, no, Negan, we can't let you out. We don't even have a key. We feed you through these bars. You poop in a bucket. And now that I think about it, how do we get the bucket out? This is disgusting.
Maybe
just
some
keep
funnels in play.
We'll just keep giving them more buckets.
And just cut a hole in the ground.
Those
but you don't want them to have sharp objects.
Those dog food sandwiches run right through you.
But so what do we? I'm trying to think. There's so many different things that have left off. I mean, do you think we're going to see Dwight? Because again, comic spoilers. Just tune out for like 45 seconds. Come
Honeymoon Sideways 8.
Dwight kind of becomes the leader of the Saviors after the whole. They just kind of go do their thing, and they actually are for a while somewhat allies with Rick and them. They just kind of do trading and stuff. Do you think maybe now Dwight, what they're going to do, being Dwight's out looking for Sherry and Tara winds up at the Saviors? You think maybe Tara's going to start leading the Saviors?
I think Barcode. That would be my money.
You think she kind of will take Dwight's place in the comics as far as leading the Saviors after the fall of Negan?
Yeah, because Dwight did gun down quite a few in his little, rampage by the roadside.
But that's what he did in the comic, and he still ended up leading them.
That's true.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really. Whenever they say that, I'm always curious. And every season they're always like, "This season's bigger, it's better, it's bad," But then I know all shows do that; they have to ramp up their new seasons. But when they say it's going to be like an entirely different show, it's just going to completely change. I'm interested to see how they're going to do that. I really thought we would get like a Whisperer teaser in this. That big herd was the big herd? Is that what you're talking about?
No, the as they're walking towards the last the ambush or whatever, you see those posts in the ground that was the Whisperer border. It had to have been.
Think so. I did not even catch that.
It was just posts. They're just walking by, and you look at the landscape behind them, and it's just these posts. So
I didn't even think. I guess I was so into the battle, I didn't notice that. So that's okay. Well, that's so maybe we did. I thought the horde might have kind of been because the Whisperers do steer large herds of zombies.
That very well could have been them too. But I'm saying those posts, man, definitely, because pretty soon there's going to be some heads on those posts.
Yes, there are some main characters.
Yeah.
I wonder now, being in the show, though, if they'll replace them with kind of like side characters.
Man, they better not.
Or just random people who you've never heard of.
Right.
Or just be like, oh, okay, there's Heath. Okay, good.
Or okay. Not even do that. Just
guys, we found him. Well, part of him.
Cantaloupes, we impaled their fruit. Now they'll know better. They'll think twice
really
now.
Those farmers ain't going to mess with us no more.
The honeydew melon. Well. No.
They will not mess with us anymore. But I was, But I mean, I'm not gonna say I was underwhelmed. I really enjoyed the episode. Just the whole Maggie thing threw me off. I mean, it's good drama and it's setting up for definitely some it's gonna happen. But I don't know, man. Just something didn't feel right about it. Maybe that's just me. I'm sure in the comment section, people will be like, "No, that's what." But I mean, just me. Just something didn't sit well with it. I don't know.
It's a little forced, maybe.
Yeah, but it was interesting. I loved the Rick and Michonne kind of double teaming Negan It's early.
That's Nick and Regan.
It is. Yeah. Nick. Maybe I'm thinking about Fear the Walking Dead, where they kind of double team him and then Michonne chokes him with his slit throat, and Rick's like, we could just tear out his stitches a little bit, let him kind of let him see what it feels like once again to have a slit throat, and then we'll. But man, that was really good though, the way they did that, because I mean, we as comic readers, you see it coming, but at the same time, you never know when they're going to throw it in there. And the way he's like, because they did it, because again, comic spoiler, but in the comics, Rick actually seemed to be getting through to Negan in his talk. Negan was kind of rethinking things, and that's what was so shocking in the comics, because it was like, oh wow, he's actually agreeing with Rick. Where are they going with this? And then bam, knife to the throat. Whereas in this, Negan's still just like, screw you, I'm going to kill you, and then.
How'd you like Negan's reveal that he didn't kill Abraham at random? He didn't want to kill Rick in front of Carl.
Yeah,
that was something.
That was pretty touching, I mean, it's like he's still got a heart under there. And then when the show, we saw him crying. Again, I really like Jeffrey Dean Morgan as Negan. I really still would love to see in another universe where John Hamm played him, because I think John Hamm would have been a great Negan. Also, Garrett Dillahunt, who is now in Fear the Walking Dead, but I still would have been interested. I think Garrett Dillahunt would have honestly been a better like Dwight than Negan, but who knows? Do
you think that's where the casting directors discovered him, was like, oh, this guy auditioned for Negan. You know what? You're not a good Negan fit, but we're going to find something
right.
for
That's
you.
what they did with Daryl. Norman Reedus auditioned, and he was actually auditioned for Merle. Are you that guy
from Boondock Saints and nothing else?
I was sitting with a bunch of friends watching that. No kidding. I was like, no one else picked up on that. And I normally am the last one to pick up on. I didn't even notice the Whisperer thing he was talking about. So I'm usually not the one to notice fine details in shows. And I'm like, hey, it's a dude from Boondock Saints. And I had one guy go, no, it's not. I'm like, it is.
No, that's the other. He was tall with Chad. What's the guy's name? I forget it. It was Norman Reedus. And isn't that crazy how Norman Reedus is now more famous than that guy?
Yeah.
Oh, well, because that guy was big in the 90s. Whatever. I'll figure it out.
But yeah, no, I don't only know, but I mean, anyways. But no, Norman auditioned for Merle, and they were like, well, they liked him so much, though, they created the character of Daryl for him. Mm-hmm. And for all the Daryl lovers out there that think I just hate Daryl, no, I love Daryl through season maybe 5, up through that point. And then it just got, I don't know, it's just one of those characters. I'm sure everybody has their own character they feel that way about. If it's not Daryl, you've got someone that you just kind of like, I just don't really care about this character anymore, or they annoy me. For some people, it might be Morgan. Some people, it might be Tara. Tara doesn't bother me. I just don't really care. I don't know. She's not really. I really connect. I felt like I connected with her a lot more in the earlier seasons, whereas to now, I just kind of.
I haven't had anyone that I dislike as much as Denise. Do
you think that the girl that Tara was talking to when she first arrived to the sanctuary, you think they looked like there was a little spark there, didn't it?
So.
I was thinking as I was watching it, for Matt's sake, I hope this girl is a lot more interesting than the last one.
We'll see.
Apparently, you're not alone, though. I've watched a lot of top 10 worst characters on the Walking Dead list and stuff, and Denise is always on that list.
I feel so bad for her too, because it's part writing. I do stand by the fact that her acting wasn't that stellar. But when you're surrounded by that many people who are amazing actors, if you're not that great of an actor, you're going to stand out.
Right.
But it's also a mix of the writing. It's a mixture of everything, and I feel bad. But she still got paid.
Yeah, she did. I saw her on that show. I didn't watch all of it. It wasn't a bad show.
That show with that guy.
That guy. Yeah, that guy. Yeah, he's back. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But this guy shows up.
Oh, don't even that piece of work, this
I'm
guy.
I'm telling you.
Oh, boy.
But no, it's a show on Netflix, and I can't remember. I think it's Netflix. It's a Western show, and it's got a lot of females
Godless?
in it. Yes. Denise is in that, and she plays more of a tomboyish. I think her acting is better in that than on The Wall. I like that character better than I like Denise.
Somebody was telling me about it, because it's like a mini-series.
Yeah,
some
she's still not great.
50 minutes, okay.
Right, yeah, she's still not great. She's not going to blow your mind, but I mean, I think she's more likable in that role. I feel like the role, they just, that was bad casting. She didn't fit, and writing, because I mean, they didn't really... I mean, you kind of started liking her a little bit. You didn't, but I think the rest of us kind of started liking her a little
JP,
bit.
is
Right
this true?
We've had secret meetings, yes. JP is the head of the Denise fan club.
What do you guys talk about when I'm not here?
Denise.
Wow.
We love Denise.
There's a lot of that.
Thank you for not doing that when I am here.
We love Denise. No, but I mean, I really going back to the finale. Dwight, I thought it was pretty powerful when he was telling Daryl. He thought Daryl brought him there to kill him, and he's like, I'm ready. I deserve it. I know what I did to Denise. I know all the terrible things I've done, and I deserve this. And just kind of. Do you think maybe Daryl kind of wanted to kill him, but then saw that, he really is genuinely, going to have to live with, he feels what he's done, and he's going to have to live with that? Or do you think Daryl's intention was to let him go the whole time?
I think everyone's a little burnt out with the killing. I think he took him out there to just
apparently
apparently
DARYL is not with his new Maggie alliance.
Well,
that's going to be the new show next season. It's going to be a completely new show. No death, no dying, nothing. And the walkers actually have lines.
That's what Chris Hardwick said on the Talking Dead. What did he say? It was something like something to do with like peace next season. Matt doesn't like Chris Hardwick, and I can't figure out why. He's such an enjoyable guy.
I don't even know why I don't like it.
Didn't you go see him live somewhere?
At one of the last tapings of At Midnight, I was in California. We went and saw that. And, I mean, I think I made a joke at one point when we first started because it's like, it's either the Podcasting Dead or the Talking Dead. You can't choose one.
It's like friendly competition.
Yeah. So, and I think that just evolved into a unnatural hatred.
So now you just like, if the world ended, it's like, so we're going to go here and try to survive. You're going to be like, I have to go to L.A.
Yeah.
Why? I have to kill Chris
Hardwick. Take care of something real quick, guys.
Matt, why do you? Yeah.
That's my own little, that'll be great.
That's your own little side story.
You should hear the things he says about Pat Sajak. Believe me, it's not just Chris Hardwick.
Pat Sajak wrote songs for Slayer back in the 80s, right?
What?
Yeah, man.
Really?
He was look it up. That's all I'm gonna say, but it's really cool. You look at Pat Sajak, there's no way. Nope, he wrote music for Slayer.
Wow.
Yeah, man. 80s
Changes everything. Maybe Chris Hardwick wrote songs for
Anthrax.
That's probably
what I was trying to go somewhere newer with a metal band, but yeah, we'll stick with Anthrax.
He's been around for a while, yeah. I mean, not as long as Pat Sajak, but
yeah, Chris Hardwick's a lot older than he looks. He's like in his early 40s. Yeah. He was actually on an episode of Boy Meets World.
Well, he
as his MTV host self. You know what I'm saying?
Wow, singled out. Mm-hmm. Man, we are going down a road here.
He was playing, I guess, himself. But
how many of our listeners have you ever heard of Singled Out? Have never heard of Pat Sajak? I wouldn't be surprised if people under like 16 years old have never even heard of Pat Sajak.
Right.
Because usually like over
disgusting.
60.
Somebody's on their phone until you said that, Googling, and they're like, who on The Walking Dead is Pat Sajak?
And I wonder if Pat Sajak, that's so funny, which character is
He's
Pat
not
Sajak?
even on the show.
Y'all should be using the actors' names. Okay, well, Pat Sajak is really great as Heath. But no, I wonder if Pat Sajak lays awake at night wondering why Alex Trebek is more popular than he is.
I mean,
it was the mustache. I don't think he has a mustache anymore. But
he's calling for retirement too.
Oh,
Alex Trebek. Yeah.
Man, I would love to podcast wrap-up shows for that.
Suck it, Trebek.
Very cool. Yeah. Suck it long or suck it hard.
I'll take a tits now.
I got a joke for you, Trebek. The Pope walks into a bar. Well, I forget the rest of the joke, but your mother's a whole. Love it.
I'm trying to think. So, anything else from this episode that needs discussing? I think we've covered most of it. I mean, some big. Father Gabriel still was. I felt so bad because it's not funny to make fun of blind people. But when he was running through the woods, I just was like, dude, if he smacks into a tree, I'm going to lose it. And then he like runs into a walker, and I'm like, I wonder if he still thinks it's a tree. He's like, the wind's blowing hard. This tree is really breezing sapling, on me. Yeah, but no. Interesting. I definitely thought he was going to go. I kind of thought they were going to somewhat give him his comic death, but I definitely expected Negan to get down to one and just shoot him. And
it'd have been great if they would have given him a comic death. So like in the Benny Hill, and he slips on a banana peel.
Yep. He definitely, Negan's relationship with Gabriel definitely evolved, because if you remember back to when they were stuck in that trailer alone, Gabriel tried to kill him, and, Negan still basically, when they escaped together and he was blocking him up, but he told him, he was like, escort him down to wherever, and he's like, gently, and wants them to treat him in. And then even still, I think once he rolled out of the vehicle, it just sealed his fate. Like, Negan's like, okay, now I'm going to kill you. That's the way this is going to happen.
Do you remember that clip that you made where Rick tells Michonne he made me hold it?
Yeah.
I would like to hear Negan echoing gently when he says that.
I want to make a meme of of Father Gabriel jumping out of the car, and it's like, when she asks, so what are we? And just see him like jump out of the car. But
where do you want to eat for dinner? Just jump out of the car.
They're actually, I'm not going to promise that I'm going to do this, but and then for people that are wondering why we didn't go see this live and do the live cast and stuff, we kind of had a tornado yesterday.
Couple
rolled through the area. So
I don't know if it was the same one, but there was one like 40, 50 minutes south of us, and there was another one like 15 minutes.
Yeah, one carried my house to Oz for a little while.
That's crazy.
Weird.
It's because they're cutting all the trees down around here.
Is that what it is?
Trees help cool the air, and
I thought it was the chemtrails.
Well, that has.
Is that it too?
I thought it was the
has a lot
fact
to
that
do
the
with it,
Earth
too.
was flat, JP.
It's all of those.
The Earth's
It's
not
all
flat.
those things.
It's very, very round.
Did you see that in Far Cry 5?
Whoa, the flat Earth thing.
It's just a sniper rifle, and it's like, don't forget about the curvature of the Earth for your bullet or something like that. And they don't pull any punches.
Yep. But no,
I just feel like if the Earth, what's that thing that's on the internet that says if the Earth was flat, then cats would have knocked everything off of it by now.
Oh yeah, no doubt. No doubt.
I don't know about that. I haven't done that research. But.
Oh, that's another podcast I can't wait to have. But no, where was I? Oh no, but there is Breaking Benjamin is like my favorite band of all time, and they just released their new album on Friday, and there is a song on that I feel goes so perfectly with Rick for this season. Like I'm not going to
Got
promise
it synced up right now. Here we go. The new hit from Breaking Benjamin.
Right. I wish, but I might make a little music video with scenes from the show mixed in with that song because it really, listening to it, it really does kind of fit like Rick for this season, or like for the whole Negan, well, really the whole show, but more so for the Negan stuff. So maybe I might do that. If I do, I'll add it to the channel. Y'all can check it out. But the song just goes. I just couldn't think of anything but when I was listening to it. It just reminded me so much of The Walking Dead. So
that's amazing that Breaking Benjamin is still coming out with new albums. Like that's a pretty long career.
Yeah,
that
good
is a
stuff.
long career.
Good stuff. Yeah, I love that's my favorite band. Man.
I saw them and Cypress Hill and Blink 182 and Taking Back Sunday. It was like a 4-per, like Cypress Hill open. And then, or was it?
I've seen all of those except for Cypress Hill. I saw Blink 182 with Green Day and Thrice.
It was a great concert.
Yeah,
really great.
I saw Breaking Benjamin about 2 years ago in Charlotte. It was a really good show.
12 years
ago.
ago. That's why I remember being like in my 20s, like early 20s when that happened.
But yeah, they're still doing stuff. But no, it really reminds. So I might make that and add it to it, just a little extra content. But no, we didn't go to the theater because it was kind of tornadoing outside.
Yeah.
And, we love you guys and we love this show, but I don't really, don't want to face a tornado for it. We're not getting paid for it at the moment. So, it's like if we were making these big YouTube bucks, we might be like, well, dude, sometimes we kind of got to risk it. But.
Sometimes I don't even like watching the show. I can't imagine how I'd feel watching it with a bunch of strangers.
Can you imagine if we would have texted you with that and said, all right, dude, we're going to go watch it, but there's tornadoes outside. Matt,
yeah,
we were devoted to this, but I don't even like the show. Do I? Okay, fine.
Tornadoes.
That would have been an interesting ride, though.
Yeah.
But I did play around a little bit with the live, and YouTube Live is super easy to do. So I do promise that we'll do something live soon, even if we just pop in live to say hello. Here we are live.
That'll be fun.
We'll bring this guy. It'll be a good time.
Yeah, we always do like a quick 1 or 2 minute snippet where we ask a question. We're like, hey, answer this for us.
Yeah.
And then we just look at the comments.
Yeah, be a little more, especially with The Walking Dead being done now. But we are going to podcast about Fear the Walking Dead. Matt's not going to watch it, but he's going to, other than the first one.
This is exciting. This is very exciting.
From the second one forward, Matt is going to be in and going to ask outside questions, like an outside perspective on the show from someone that doesn't watch it. And then maybe that could change your mind on the story writing. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it'll change my mind. Who knows?
You might say, you know what, that does sound like some really, because I do. Season 3 was wonderful. Season 3 of Fear the Walking Dead is on par with some of the best seasons of The Walking Dead. I loved it. Every episode that went off, I had to press next. It was just so good, and I really hope that they keep that momentum with. I've heard some people say season 4 is almost like a reboot.
It feels like it.
Because they say you don't have to have watched any of the prior seasons to watch season 4 and be.
Maybe that's what they're trying to do next season with Walking Dead.
A reboot.
If nothing else, it's worth watching just for Victor Strand.
Victor Strand is a character,
intoxicating man.
He's his voice.
To me, he's really like the Jack Sparrow of Fear the Walking Dead.
Is he British or is he American in real life?
That I
think he's American.
Is he American?
I think he's American.
He's like our Idris Elba.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I was hoping that he wasn't British, because if you were going to say he is British, I'd be like, damn it!
Going back
They've
through
got everyone.
Going back through The Office, though, I really like Idris Elba. I really like.
God, Charles Minor.
But man, I could not stand him on that show. It's so crazy. It just shows good acting, though, and good writing to take someone that's so likable and make you not like him.
Well, it's like as you grow, you start to relate more with. It's like on like now I get it. When I was younger to watch the show, I'd be like, yeah, he's such a hard ass. I don't understand it. But then you get older, okay, he is a businessman. He's trying to get this business going. But it's like when you're younger and you watch that 70s show. You're like, Eric and his friends are just trying to smoke in the basement, have a good time. Red, stay out. Like, stop trying to put a foot up his ass.
Right.
When you get older, you're like, Eric, stop being such a dumbass before Red puts his foot up your ass.
This is the number one. This is my main way to tell that you've grown up. If you want to know that whether or not you're an adult, listen to that song "Rude," and if you agree with the kid singing, you are still young. If you agree with the dad, then you're grown up. Because I listen to it, I'm like, this kid sounds like a douche. Like maybe instead of saying I'm going to marry her anyways, maybe you should try to respectfully win her father over.
It's tell the father you're going to have her hand in marriage.
Right.
Not ask for her hand in marriage.
I mean, we don't know the whole story. I mean, they could have just started dating, and the dad's trying to be a good dad.
And what's a Saturday morning? Jumped out of bed, dude. I'm still trying to sleep. Don't be coming to my house at 8:00 on a Saturday morning.
Right.
When I don't want to. It's like watching the Disney Channel with my niece. Like I have to ask her questions constantly. Like, where are the adults? Why are these 14-year-olds running a record store?
I think we can agree some of the worst parents in history are on Rugrats.
That too, yeah.
I mean, they were great parents. I loved them, but I mean, let's face it, those kids were left alone way too much.
Way too much.
The
90s were a simpler time. You could just put your kids in a little pen,
right,
and just leave them there,
and they would get out. But you didn't know.
I didn't see any dead lizard. I don't know why I remember that line.
That was a good Chucky.
Thank you.
Man, that was a heartbreaking episode with Chucky's mom.
Oh my god.
But anyway, so yeah, a little off there, but
this has been a nice reminiscing episode too. We have talked a lot about the days of old.
But The Walking Dead season 8 is done. We're going to do two things. We're going to rate the episode, and then we're going to rate the season, because for me, I feel like this season really kind of redeemed the show. But that's me. I really liked the back half of this season. I thought it was just a lot of episodes were very, action packed, and just like you don't know what's going to happen, and it's good. And quick question before we do that, I wanted to ask you, because you know that we're not the biggest fans of the decision to kill Carl. We feel like it could have been done with someone else. Sure. Matt and I especially, I know JP wasn't happy with the way Carl died. JP said that he didn't mind that Carl died. It's just the way they killed him, with some random guy. And Matt and I still are, I as much as I love the show, and as much as Matt doesn't like the show, I do agree that I feel like it was just a shock value thing.
What are you talking about? I love this show. It's my favorite show on TV.
But
it's better than The Office.
Now, do you think the ends justified the means? Do you think because they kept reassuring us, no, with Carl's death, it's going to change the pace of the show. Do you think that the juice was worth the squeeze in this case? Do you think Carl's death justified the way the season ended?
I don't think anything justifies how he got killed off.
Well said. I agree with that.
Because, I mean, I kind of, from the side of the writers, get what they're saying. Like, really, Rick has just become this savage badass. And you're really not going to change Rick's mind in the sense of, like, Negan should live and we should try a new way. It would have to be someone very close to him, like Michonne, Carl, maybe Morgan even, the guy that saved him in the very beginning. I really feel like Morgan would have been the one, even though I don't want Lenny James. I love Lenny James, so I want to keep him on the show as long as I can. But I feel like Morgan could have died, and that could have been Rick respecting Morgan's wishes. I don't feel like it had to,
Yeah.
But I don't know. I just wonder out there, podcasting dead listeners, do you think Carl's death was justified now that you see the outcome and what Rick and them have done? Do you think that Carl's death was worth it, or do you think that no, they probably still could have done it another way?
That's a very insightful question.
I know. I really don't know how I wanted to word it.
And I'll bring that to you tomorrow, but just to let the listeners know, and JP, I was telling Justin about this earlier, the newest issue of Entertainment Weekly has an interview with Lenny James and about his process of switching over to Fear the Walking Dead. It's a really good interview. And he talks a lot about his character.
He seems a lot happier about it now than he did. Like when they first announced it, it just seemed, and they said he was really jet lagged. Well, during that, but in the interview he just did not seem like he was that excited about it.
In the interview, he talks about that. He says that even though he was with the Walking Dead since the first episode, and he's been gone for a little while, and he's been on there for a while, though it's just when you go to a different show, even though the stories are connected, it's like you're the new guy on set,
right?
So it's just very stressful, and it gives you a chance to try out new things with your character and stuff. I mean, it's a really good. Go check it out. It's at Entertainment Weekly. It's really good. EW.com.
And the first episode of Fear, I hope if you didn't watch it, it pretty much picks up right where the finale leaves off, more or less. So really cool to see some guest appearances.
Morgan-less instead of more or less.
But yeah, so basically the Carl thing, I'm just asking now that we've seen, because we were told when we were upset that Carl died that no, you'll see this completely changes the way the story goes, and it's got big repercussions. Now that you've seen how it's played out and how it's going to change the show, and we've got them trying to get back to regular humanity, do you think that was worth Carl's death, or do you think that they probably could have done it with someone else? What are your thoughts on that? So just let us know in the comments below, because we love to get discussions going.
I do. And we've been getting a lot of them lately. Do you remember, guys, a time when we were able to print out all the comments that we had, because it was like literally
like all
12
6
comments.
of them. Yeah. So you're being generous.
Sorry, right?
No, 6 to
But now
you're
it's
right. 6 to 12.
I can't keep up with all of them. I read them all though.
It's certainly something that we're very appreciative of. But that's why we had to quit doing that, because we got to the point in the beginning where we were excited over 200 views. So when we got like 6 comments, 12 comments, we would print them out and address them individually. But when we're fortunate enough now to where we get hundreds of comments, and it's like, dude, we'd have to make like a series of podcasts
and
just
not a lot
to
of
address
trolls.
these.
I've said that before.
We
But
got
I'm really saying
some,
everyone's
but not a lot,
compared to like YouTube as a whole. We're doing all right.
Yeah, no, not
we
bad at
have
all.
People who genuinely are interested in the show and in our dialogue.
They're usually pretty good until Matt makes them mad.
Yeah, and let me just let people know. Somebody said something about I won't listen to your opinion anymore. I don't what is it? I don't care about your opinion, or I'm not going to take what you say.
Right.
I was like, but you should never care my opinion. I don't know why anyone cared about my opinion in the first place. That's an honor.
Right.
But don't do that.
Right. Well, if Matt don't like the show, you can still like it. JP and I still love the show, and Matt doesn't hate it, but Matt's just not as fond of it at the current state it's in.
I liked it when it first started, but it's really I don't care. And opinions are like buttholes. Everybody
has one, yeah.
And they all stink.
Oh.
Yeah.
What? You don't have a butthole?
JP smell bad,
I wish you could have
like
watched his face. JP looked like he was truly feeling everything he was saying. He's going along
butthole
there,
part.
and then you get to the butthole part, and then his face scrunches up, and he's like, "You
Sounds
lost me.
just like my prom date.
You lost me."
Heyo.
Hey, all right. So let's rate this episode, and then we're going to rate this season.
We'll just do mean quickly, and here we go. 3 for the show, 3.5 for the season.
Okay.
There you go. We'll just skip over me because it doesn't really matter.
Wait, it's 3 for the episode?
Yeah, 3 for
the episode?
3 stars out of 5 for the episode, 3.5 for the season. Or maybe do I want to switch that back?
That's not bad.
Yeah, no, that's right. It was yeah.
It's not bad.
We'll stick with that.
JP, what you going to rate the episode?
I was going to say 3.5 for the episode, just because nothing really took me by surprise. I did like seeing the nod to the Whisperers. I like seeing some other stuff. Some stuff I like to see. There was a great.
You make these. I wish the listeners could see your face when you say these things.
Nah, there was a great shot of Michonne's Heine when they're walking and her and Rick are holding hands. Was it that Michonne? Anyway, it doesn't matter.
God, she's
all JP knows is he saw a nice Heine.
Have you seen? You saw Black Panther?
Yeah,
she's so awesome. In Black Panther.
she's great.
Even with a shaved head, she's hot. I love it.
Yeah.
Sorry. Anyway,
so JP, what would you rate this season?
Oh, well, man, I mean, the back half of it, the last 8 episodes, I'd give a 4. I mean, factor in the first half, it would definitely drop it down some. But
what are you looking at? Are you going to add that? Are we the whole season as a whole, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what's really.
Yeah,
that's
my score is simple for both.
Okay.
Well, you know what?
I'll do 3.5 for because like I said, just the first half of the season did kind of drag it down some.
So
it kind of was on pace.
Also? Yeah, I'll go 3.5.
Go down to 3 then.
The first half was action packed, but it still just felt like we were in season 7. You know what I mean?
And
then
it
the back
feels so
half.
long ago though, which it was kind of long.
It's true. If I had a chance to really rewatch everything, maybe I'd
I forget how long this show lasts for being only 16 episodes. Like it.
I'm gonna give it the same score on both. I started to give the episode a 3.5, but you both just did, or 3 and 5, 3.5. So I'm gonna move it up a little bit. I'm gonna give the episode a 4, and I'm gonna give this season a 4, primarily because I would honestly give it like a 4.5 for the back half, but the first half it had its moments that I liked. It started off action packed and it was war, but I don't know. It still felt like we were in 7, and then once we got through the mid-season finale, it really felt like we were.
The first couple of episodes were a little jumbled. I was a little confused, which I get confused easily.
It didn't feel like all-out war. I'll tell you that much.
Right. But I'm going to give it a 4 and a 4. I'm going to say the episode was great. Like JP said, I wasn't really surprised by anything, and there wasn't really any. There were moments where I wanted to stand up and cheer, like when the guns blew up. I thought that was awesome. Like I just got so excited, and so I mean I enjoyed the episode. But I'm going to do a 4 and a 4. I'm going to give this season a 4 and this episode a 4.
Their setups and their payoffs aren't always, like with Breaking Bad, you remember they set up the whole season. You see the teddy bear floating in the pool and stuff, the charred teddy bear. That payoff, man, was just, it was so great.
The cigarette pack.
And so like the flash forward with Bearded Rick, it
just didn't kind of pay off the way you thought it would.
Was that payoff really? I don't know.
It's so weird because the last few episodes, JP's been super excited and loving it. Today, you just seem kind of bummed.
I will say,
your whole demeanor just seems like you were disappointed.
Having Angela Kang as the head show writer, I feel like that has kind of breathed new life into the show. I feel like it is showing
Well, she's
Since she's come on, things have gotten a little better.
Yeah,
she'll be completely in
last
control
5
next
episodes.
season, so it'll be interesting. I just hope we don't go back to the Daryl Beth days because she wrote my least favorite episode of all time.
Daryl and Beth, or if you mash them together, death.
She did write some good. She did. I know one of the episodes this season that we really liked was written by her, so I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
So we'll see. I think she wrote. Did she write the episode where the trash people got mowed down?
She's wrote most of the episodes in this second half of the season.
Did she?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've loved the second half.
Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah. So we're gonna see how that goes. But yeah. So I do. You do. You got yours. You do. I do 4 and 4. So. Yeah, we'll come in from time to time to talk Walking Dead things as we kind of discover them. I don't know. Someone let me know in the comments section. Is Maggie? I don't think she's been signed for season 9. So all that set up with her at the end is really going to suck if they just kill her during childbirth or send her off for whatever. We'll see how that works. But as far as I know, she's not re-signed. But let us know what you think next season's going to be like. We'll probably come in as news pops up like we've done between seasons. And we're definitely going to be podcasting about Fear the Walking Dead.
Very excited for that.
And when that goes off, we'll just find something because now we've,
Infinity War comes out in like a week.
Yes,
and a half.
I want to review
just
that.
Saying.
Yep, I'm super
really excited about that. And we see Gideon Falls and Oblivion Song and there you go.
Walking Dead comics, we do review those.
And if you got any ideas of stuff you want us to talk about,
please let us know.
By all means. I've got JP and I have Movie Pass. We're trying to convince Justin to get it, and then we can start going to see
but now
movies.
everywhere are slowly shutting them down. Like they used to have them in my town. They used to have them here, and then in a town over.
It's worked everywhere.
And
I've tried it.
2 of those 3 have shut. Yeah, you've only tried it in Danville, right?
Well, I've used it in Greensboro also.
Did you?
Yeah.
Which one in Greensboro?
The one at Friendly Center.
The Carousel? Is that what it is?
I
know. It's over there where Macaroni Grill used to be.
It's a Regal.
Remember Macaroni Grill? Yeah, I went and saw The Departed at that theater.
Yeah.
I'm just a little apprehensive because both, Roxborough and South Boston have stopped taking them. So I'm scared. I know my luck. I'll buy it, and then they'll stop taking it.
As a preface, again, that's not South Boston, Massachusetts.
Right.
It's a town called South Boston.
Right. People get so confused. Yeah. But, so that's going to wrap it up. We appreciate you listening. We are excited for next season. I'm Justin.
I'm Matt, and I'm not excited about... I'm sorry. I just didn't want you to speak for me. Go ahead, JP. Should we do it again? That took me off guard.
Take that back?
I'm really sorry.
All right. Let's wrap it up.
Can we fix that in post? We can fix that in post. Okay.
I'm just going to leave it. We're going to live dangerously.
Yeah, everyone knows who we are.
But yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this season. We've had a great time, and we thank everyone for subscribing and liking videos and commenting, and please continue to do that. I'm Justin.
I'm Matt.
And JP.
That's much more solid, yes.